Welcome everyone to another episode of coreVISION Story. Today we're going to be talking with Andrea Lee, and I'm joined by Jason Pike and Jennie Claxton, as they were integral in bringing Andrea on board here to coreVISION, as they were the connection that got Andrea's name in the hat, I'll say, as far as when we were trying to get people on board here. So what we're going to do is give Andrea a minute to bring us up to speed on what she was doing prior to coming here to coreVISION, what she does at coreVISION, how she fits in on the team, and all the hats she wears here.
Thanks, Brad. Well, for the most part, I have a background in fitness, and so my husband traveled a lot, and I was lucky to be able to stay home with our boys when they were young. But as they were approaching school age, I wanted to do something that was a little more structured as far as a schedule, because they would have a structured schedule as well, and was fairly involved in school functions, and noticed that Jennie, I knew Jennie worked for coreVISION, and she was really able to be pretty involved in school things as well, and I really appreciated that. And I just kind of in the back of my mind thought, well, if I ever go back to work, I think coreVISION would be a great opportunity, not ever really thinking that would happen. So then as the boys approached, well, my youngest more so, as he was kind of approaching kindergarten, I started thinking about it, and Jennie, I think, kind of got wind of that, and so then she mentioned, she just kind of asked me if I would be interested. And so it was just kind of odd that I had thought about that a few years prior, and then it was kind of coming to fruition. So you want to kind of take the part that I don't know, I guess?
Sure. So like Andrea said, I kind of knew who she was through our children going to the same school. And I think the moment for me where I was like, I really like this girl, I gotta get to know her, was we were at a function in town, and she was out on the dance floor just dancing like nobody was watching. So she was my spirit animal. So I was like, I gotta know this girl. So our husbands had also started hanging out as well through their positions with their jobs. So then we got to hang out a little bit more, and then I knew that she was thinking about coming back to the workforce part-time, and we were heading in that direction here. So everything just kind of worked out, and talked to Jason about it, and then we all met up for a lunch, and here we are. So
yeah, it was meeting up for lunch, really getting the background from Jennie, trying to figure out kind of where Andrea could fit in, and she was I just remember Jennie just being just so positive and just speaking so highly, and I'm a big people person. Like I'm a big believer in if the person, if you've got a great person from a cultural fit, most likely there's a role that can be filled, and if it's a role they can enjoy, then they can really add value from multiple angles. So it was really a great conversation. We talked about Andrea coming back to work part-time initially, just to work her way back in, and still being able to spend time with family. And she really thought that she was going to come in and just kind of, I think, do from an administrative role, mainly just looking at an administrative role, and early on, Andrea's competitive, if no one knew that, and
Really?
that couldn't tell, right? And her competitive nature is something that really shined through in that lunch, just in talking for an hour. And realistically, in the first 15 to 20 minutes, the conversation quickly turned from, what do you think about taking on the entire financial planning division of our firm? And so I think it was something that really maybe caught her off guard, and it was, but I think it was good because the way her mind works, and the way that she carries herself very professionally, and it was just something that from a challenge standpoint, I knew that was something that could really challenge her, and she's a person that thrives on being challenged. So it was one of those things, I think, that really kind of caught her off guard, realistically.
Yeah. Well, that was not what I expected, but I think after we talked, and then it seemed a little overwhelming, I guess,
Sure.
right at first, because I had stayed home. But then really we got started. I started in August and basically started studying, and then got my exams, and then when we met and had lunch, you told me it would take 3 years to become a CFP at the shortest time. And so in the back of my mind, not that anyone ever put pressure on me, honestly, ever, but in the back of my mind, like, I knew that was mentioned. And so I didn't want to ever, like, I just always at least want to meet expectations, but I'd like to exceed them. And so I kind of felt like whether they knew it or not, I was going to accomplish that. And so literally 3 years later, I got my designation. And so I have changed so much, I think, just in working here, because I just, I don't know, it's pretty unbelievable to me, like, the person that I was versus the person I am, and how much I've grown and just learned, for sure, but really just being in an environment and having the support to, like, grow, and having people that want to help you grow has really helped me, even in my own confidence, like, in life. I think it's been really good for me, because things that I never thought I could accomplish, I have. So that's been cool.
The one regret I have is that we didn't start doing these videos, 2, 3, 4 years ago, which I think it's really going to be cool going forward now. As you talk about that growth, you talk about the internal kind of maturity type growth. And I think we all experience that when we surround ourselves with the right people, right? And I think that from a support standpoint, not only us supporting you, but the amount of support that you've been able to give back to us has just been, unbelievable. Realistically, the number of hats that Andrea's worn here and still wears here, we're all the time trying to think about, well, how can we help unload something off of her, because it's one of those things where I'm a big believer in not micromanaging. I wouldn't want micromanaged. I don't feel like I could do a good job micromanaging. And with Andrea, it's been great, because there'll be times that she'll come and ask me a question or tell me, it's like, hey, this we're doing this now, and I'm just like, I'm like, who thought of that? That's great. I wouldn't have even thought to have that happen, but Andrea's in the background, like, making it all happen, and so, the growth and the internal maturity it's been great to see over the short amount of time that you've been here.
I think that's one of the things that I really enjoy about working here at coreVISION is the culturally. Like, I mean, if, a year ago when we started talking about having these videos, everybody was like, yeah, go ahead, do it,
Yeah.
Figure it out, what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
And so you talk about, oh, we should have been doing these a long time ago, I remember the first time we talked about sitting down in front of all these, you and I, how many times did we film a video?
And they're so awkward.
They're so
awkward.
Outtakes to come.
We would just film videos and just watch them and be like, oh my gosh, so you just
Not that I feel any less awkward now.
Right.
But
it becomes more normal, right? Now it's not as awkward
sure.
to sit in front of this thing and talk for 15 or 20 minutes and then sit back and watch it. But like Jason said, the number of hats that Andrea wears here, when a project comes up, Andrea just dives into it and just, totally gets engrossed in it. I mean, she just redid the website for coreVISION. I mean, that was something that she knew zero about, but she just dove right in. She learned how to code. She learned all that stuff about it. So, for someone to be so willing to just jump into something that they don't know, I think that's great. And I think, like she's talking about, the growth that she's experienced while she's been here is mainly because of her personality and her willingness to do that. But here, they're going to say, go ahead. If you want to give it a shot, give it a shot. And if you're willing to put in the work and do it, you're absolutely going to be successful. And I think that's a great thing that you've done.
Absolutely.
I want to make sure, everybody knows that. The website thing was crazy.
And even the processes, even for us on, like, the administration side, that, ever since she came, that she has helped implement as well. I mean, it's just such a huge piece of the puzzle, and it all starts with her. So we are forever grateful for everything that she has done.
But I feel like, too, like, it's all about, like, having the support. And like, I mean, I don't feel like I could do very much on an island, for sure.
Right,
You know?
right.
Like my whole purpose, I guess, and like what I like to do, what makes me feel good when I leave after the day is if I know that I helped like make somebody's life easier.
Sure.
And so I think that's, I can't do that on an island.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's part of, that's the beautiful part of working with a team, right?
Mhm.
Is you got all these people supporting you and, willing to help out and give you ideas, just people to talk to and bounce ideas off of. I mean, I think that makes a world of difference for growth, for idea, incubation, all this stuff. When you get other people to talk to about it, I just think it can make a world of difference. So, Andrea, do you have any last thoughts, anything you'd like to add to the video here at the end?
Well, I think one of the things that has been really important, and I didn't necessarily know it, 3 years ago, was I think it's been really good for me to show, because I have 2 sons, I don't have any daughters, and for them to be able to see their mom in a role that's professional and just really, understanding that like Jason, my husband, we're a team, and being able, my sons being able to see that and a strong mom, I think has been really good. Will continue to be good for them to see, just to recognize that, to see me as or I guess women in general, as an equal and as a team member. And being able to like utilize all the talents that anyone has. I think that's
That you may not know you have until.
Right, absolutely.
You may not know
Absolutely,
you have
yes.
until you're challenged with that. So,
Never know what's inside of you, right? Until you give it a shot.
That's right.
but
I love our family.
coreVISION family. Thanks for watching.